Ria TV, True FM.
Say Ria TV, True FM.
On Ria TV,
into True FM 96.
what's the meaning of the black barrier?
The black barrier is to tell Joseph Boakai if you don't organize yourself in a respectful manner, we'll keep your plate like
You might say what you want to say, but for us, we are here to make sure we build our country, that we are respected. We have donors that are coming because of the confidence.
Somewhere at 12. My name is Hansen.
News Center of the Renaissance Communications Incorporated. Good evening and welcome to News Desk for the 5 minutes of news from the News and Current Affairs Department here at the Renaissance Communications Incorporated. My name is Johnson Gbarntolmah. On top of this Friday, December 13, 2024 edition of the program. In the headlines, President Joseph Boakai recommits to regional cooperation and sustainable management of marine resources, opens the 15th Ministerial Conference of the Fisheries Committee for the West Central Gulf of Guinea. To enhance maternal health services in Liberia, Swedish Embassy donates 13 Land Cruiser vehicles to the Ministry of Health. The acting board of the Liberia Telecommunications Authority amend portions of the 2019 price floor order, adjusting voice and data signs and other to stabilize the sector and improve quality service nationwide. And away from Liberia, Niger's military government suspends the BBC for 3 months, accusing it of spreading fake news and could destabilize social peace and demoralize troops fighting jihadists. These plus many more sports, the news bulletin are all packaged on today's edition of the program News Desk. Orange Liberia and Conk Liberia Limited are our two sponsors here on the news program. We'll take a break to be back.
Across Africa, a new era has begun, shifting our focus to a new horizon, connecting us with one purpose.
Rejoining us at this point, Johnson Naketa Roberts to set the pace with the reading of the news bulletin. Good evening.
Good evening, Johnny, and good evening, everyone. President Joseph Boakai on today, December 13, officially opened the 15th Ministerial Conference of the Fisheries Committee for the West Central Gulf of Guinea at the EJS Ministerial Complex in Monrovia. The high-profile event brought together ministers, representatives, and member states, development partners, and delegates to address pressing challenges facing the region's fisheries sector. In his keynote address, President Boakai emphasized Liberia's commitment to regional cooperation and sustainable management for marine resources. He described the conference as a vital platform to strengthen collective efforts in addressing issues such as illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing, climate change, marine pollution, and unsustainable fishing practices. President Boakai highlighted Liberia's recent achievements in fishery governance, including the development of a comprehensive national fisheries policy, ratification and domestication of key international agreements, establishment of a state-of-the-art fisheries monitoring center. President Boakai lauded the FCWC for its efforts to enhance regional collaboration, acknowledging the critical role of development partners such as the World Bank, the European Union, FAO, SIDA, among others. The conference concluded with the adoption of the Monrovia Declaration, a landmark commitment to foster regional cooperation and promote sustainable fisheries management. With support from the government of Sweden, the Swedish Embassy of Liberia has donated 13 Land Cruiser vehicles to the Ministry of Health to help strengthen maternal health services in the country. The donation aimed to enhance maternal health services and address critical healthcare challenges by improving the transportation of pregnant women and responding to emergencies in rural and urban areas. Receiving the keys to the vehicles, Liberia's Minister of Health, Dr. Luis Porto, expressed profound gratitude to UNFPA and the Swedish government for their generosity. Dr. Porto disclosed that the vehicles would be deployed to counties for emergency use and routine health transport. UNFPA country representative Badishat Palit reaffirmed the organization's commitment to supporting the Ministry of Health in strengthening maternal health services across Liberia. She also pledged ongoing collaboration to ensure sustainable healthcare solutions. The Liberia Telecommunications Authority has signed an order to stabilize the sector and improve quality service nationwide. LTA's acting board amended portion of the 2019 price floor order, adjusting voice and data minutes charges to reflect current market conditions. The new measures will average approximately 76 voice minutes per dollar and 1.3 megabytes per data dollar. Price wars between the service providers offering packages well below market price led to the regulatory intervention. The networks became congested, leading to poor quality of service and revenue decline. LTA Public Affairs Director says the new measure will ensure the telecommunications landscape. The Minister of Agriculture has commended President Joseph Boakai and the United Nations Development Program for their efforts aimed at reactivating the National Food Assistance Agency. Dr. Alexander Nutter, who is also the chair of the board of directors of the National Food Assistance Agency, expressed the hope that the NFAA brings back memory when it used food as means of encouraging large number of children to go to school. Minister Nutter made the statement when he commissioned several office materials donated to the National Food Assistance Agency by the United Nations Development Program in Monrovia. In remarks, the Director General of the National Food Assistance Agency, Walker Salif, disclosed that the National Food Assistance Agency will ensure that most of the food items that will be given to the needy will be purchased from Liberian farmers. According to Salif, this is intended to empower local farmers and encourage them to produce more food. The Liberia Institute of Statistics and Geoinformation Services LIGIS has marked 2024 as a year of groundbreaking accomplishments, making the disclosures at a press conference in Monrovia. Richard Gaffron detailed the institution's successes in capacity building, agricultural statistics, inflation monitoring, and Liberia's growing status on the international stage. Director Gaffron emphasized that LIGIS has prioritized building a skilled workforce to address Liberia's statistical needs by sending 24 stats members for a master's degrees program in critical fields such as geographic information system, biostatistics, development economics, and science, as data science. Highlighting one of LIGIS' major achievements, Gaffron reported the successful completion of the Liberia agricultural census. According to him, the census identified 338,630 agricultural households across the country, with Nimba, Bond, and Lofa counties hosting the highest concentrations. Bond County District 2 representative has termed as laughable the opposition Congress for Democratic Change, a decision to expel Deputy Speaker Thomas Falla. James Collette believes that the CDC, as a former ruling party, will in subsequent time regret their recent decision. According to him, the action will create more division among members of the party if care is not taken. The Bond County lawmaker questioned why the expulsion release is single-handedly signed by the party chairman without the party's secretary general. Collette described the situation as a serious error on the part of the party leadership, something he noted they might regret in the future. The Executive Director for Democracy Empowerment for Economic Progress, Dr. Ibrahim Selou, says the executive branch of government has undermined the rule of law. Speaking Friday to RCA News, Dr. Selou said Liberia is a country of law and every citizen should respect the law, something he said the executive branch has allegedly involved in the current saga at the House of Representatives, refusing to uphold to the law of the country. At the same time, Dr. Ibrahim Selou backed statement from the United States Embassy calling for due process and respect for the rule of law at the House of Representatives. He is meanwhile appreciating Speaker Fonati Kofar for standing in line with the Constitution and called on other lawmakers to follow the rule of law in the interests of peace. A prominent citizen from Bokomo District, Bapolu County, has called on the Inspector General of the Liberia National Police, Colonel Gregory Comer, to order an investigation into the alleged flogging of the representative of Electoral District 2 in Bapolu County. Reverend Jalad Marquette said it does not sit well for the image of Liberia and the Committee of Nations for lawmakers to be flogged by public officials. Recently, Representative Luther Collins sustained injuries as a result of alleged police assault when fist fight erupted between the majority and minority lawmakers at the Capitol building in Monrovia. Speaking in an interview in Monrovia shortly after his return from a visit in Bapolu County, Reverend McKay said the people of the district are unhappy over the situation and he is therefore requesting swift intervention by the IG of Police Gregory Comer. As means of identifying with Christians during this festive season, the Abandoned Grade School System, in partnership with the Jesus Christ Ministry, has donated assorted food and non-food items to less fortunate families in Painesville. The donated items, which include breast, cooking oil, washing soap, among others, is the institution's way of giving hope to less privileged mothers and children during this festive season. Speaking during the donation on Friday in Painesville, the principal of the Abandoned Grade School System, Taylor's Emmanuel Johnson, noted that the initiative is part of Edify Liberia's continuous effort in giving back to the society. For their part, beneficiaries lauded the institution for the gestures, terming it as a relief. According to one of the beneficiaries, Lopud Bobby, a mother of 6 children, she and her children had no hope for the festive season, terming the donation as timely. And away from Liberia, Niger's military government has suspended the BBC for 3 months, accusing it of spreading fake news that could destabilize social peace and demoralize troops fighting jihadists. Now, that's Niger's Minister of Communication, Rally Sadiq Hamid, announced that the decision would take effect immediately. BBC programmers, including in Hausa, the most spoken language in Niger, and French, are broadcast in the country through local radio partners, reaching 2.4 million people in the country this year, about 17% of the adult population. Although BBC radio programmers have been suspended, the website is not blocked and the radio can still be accessed on shortwave. Niger's government did not cite or specific broadcast for the suspension, but it follows BBC reports about jihadist attack in the Torgbean region on Tuesday, which are said to have killed 91 soldiers and nearly 50 civilians. The junta called these reports baseless accusations. That's the Bulletin of News. Is back to you, Johnson.
Across Africa, a new era has begun, shifting our focus to a new horizon, connecting us with one purpose: to create and share opportunities to grow. Today, we are making a brighter tomorrow, built by our dreams and our energy. Across our continent, across the world, we are creating a better way to a better future. A Pan-African future. Together. EcoBank. A better way. A better Africa.
For the news bulletin, if you're just joining us in one of our top developments, President Joseph Boakai recommits regional cooperation and sustainable management of marine resources, opens the 15th Ministerial Conference of the Fisheries Committee for the West Central Gulf of Guinea. Let's bring you our first development here on the program. With support from the government of Sweden, the Swedish Embassy of Liberia has donated 13 land cruiser vehicles to the Ministry of Health to help strengthening maternal health services in the country. The donation aimed at enhancing maternal health services and address critical health care challenges by improving the transportation of pregnant women and responding to emergencies in rural and urban areas. Receiving the keys to the vehicles, Liberia Health Minister Dr. Louis Poto expressed profound gratitude to UNFPA and the Swedish government for their support.
I'd like to extend our sincere thanks and appreciation for the 13 vehicles donated to 13 counties. You can rest assured these vehicles will be taken to the county and will be used for this gender first. I see on the legal rating strengthening maternal health services. Definitely, we will access county health officers that will be used to ferry pregnant women to the health facilities or used for emergency cases. And you say you have not been directly supporting the Ministry of Health, but this initiative is very nice. It will help to reduce maternal and neonatal mortality. As the UN representative said, I'm an OBGYN. My passion is maternal health.
Dr. Louis Poto is Health Minister of Liberia. They receiving keys to the vehicles. UNFPA country representative Madam Bedisha Pala reaffirmed the organization's commitment to supporting the Ministry of Health in strengthening maternal health services across Liberia. She also pledged ongoing cooperation to ensure sustainable healthcare solutions.
The census program for which Sweden was a partner, but continuing that support is something that is, again, core UNFPA's mandate of ensuring that we end preventable maternal deaths and end the unmet need for family planning and ends all forms of sexual and gender-based violence by 2030. And we're especially grateful, of course, to our donor partner Sweden for this very, very impactful support. To you, Honorable Minister, we want to say that we really see this as a token of our support collectively to your tireless efforts to reducing maternal mortality in this country. We know your personal passion and commitment to this cause. We say to the people and the government of Liberia more widely that we hope that you will see this support and build on it and strengthen it and know that access to reproductive health services, access to maternal health services are so crucial for this country. We hope that these vehicles they're not just vehicles, they are really a token of equity and services for the most vulnerable groups, which is why we think it's great that it's going to the counties. We hope that they will be used to serve the most hardest to reach areas, the rural women. They can be used for pharmacists to get supplies to the women. Health workers can use them to access rural communities and provide counseling and services. And also once in a while, we hope that women can use them to come to the health facilities as and when they are needed. So we think that it's wonderful that we were able to end the year on this high note, and we really want to thank Sweden.
She's Madam Bedisha Pala. She's from the UNFPA. She's the country representative. Earlier on, you heard the voice of Dr. Poto. She's Liberia's health minister. They're receiving keys to the 13 land cruiser vehicles donated by the Swedish embassy. The Liberia Telecommunications Authority has signed an order to stabilize the sector and improve quality service nationwide. LTA's adding bold amended portions of the 2019 price floor order, adjusting voice data maximum charges to reflect current market conditions. LTA Public Affairs Director says the new measures will enhance the telecommunications landscape.
Telecom sector is our primary concern, and no matter what, the LTA will strive to make every provision to make sure consumer concerns are fully addressed and we come away with measures that are acceptable for the growth and stability of the sector.
The Ministry of Agriculture has commended President Joseph Boakai and the United Nations Development Programme for their efforts aimed at reactivating the National Food Assistance Agency. Dr. Alexander Nuta, who is also the chairman of the board of directors of the National Food Assistance Program, expressed hope that the institution brings back memory when he used food as means of encouraging large number of children to go to school. Dr. Nuta made a statement when he commissioned several office materials donated through the National Food Assistance Agency by the United Nations Development Program in Monrovia.
They were supposed to be critical role in disaster relief management. Given the fact that that was part of the pillar we were working on, I talked to visitors. And when I visited them and saw where they were, I felt we have forgotten the past. I brought back the where we have to be. So I was happy when His Excellency appointed Mr. Boakai, who is a very experienced person, not just in the agriculture sector, but in managing public affairs in the country. I got to know a graduate of school that came to the so when he was appointed as head of this institution, I was able to and I'm glad to be when we are seated at a building that I entered 2 years ago, this is the top of my building, now in the car assistant. So when I walk upstairs and say, this is where I'm going. Because the last time I saw the fireworks, the big so one of the people, very different, which is one of our partners, very different partners with us in the back and on the right, and the back. We all know that the European Council supporting us both in the back and the grant and the family and the future. The person is supporting us in so in addition to it. Even though sometimes I hear some is, but really the so really thank you for the donations and the knowledge. And I think on behalf of this institution, I want to assure you as head of the board that what collaborations we make with this institution, we will utilize the proposal, and make sure the board has the housing or whatever, following a complete assessment of the board and appreciating
Dr. Alexander Nuta is Agriculture Minister and the chairman of the Board of Directors of the National Food Assistance Agency. Making remarks, the Director General of the National Food Assistance Agency, Boakai Salif, disclosed that the National Food Assistance Agency will ensure that most of the food items that will be given to the needy will be purchased from Liberian farmers.
This is what your Minister of Agriculture informs when we produce the excess food after the food and to the Ministry of Agriculture, NFAA can take that food and distribute to the local people as we've been doing. And we've been doing this we can't go because we know that we need to work and we are here. and trust us. So to trust us with the amount of people who give us to make sure that there's another light at the end of the tunnel. And we have come again. We know that we will have to be global and we have to be pushing things along. But we've come again to appeal to the world people and the world times for capacity growth, for other things that will help us to do things that are right and to help our enjoy population. We are very grateful on this day to be standing to present to our chair of the
Bakar Salif is the Director General of the National Food Assistance Agency. They're speaking at on heard the voice of Agriculture Minister Dr. Edisona Nuta, who is also the Chairman of the Board of Directors of the National Food Assistance Agency. The Liberia Institute of Statistics and Geoinformation Services has marked 2024 as a year of groundbreaking achievements. Making a disclosure at a press conference in Monrovia, Rachel Kaplan detailed the institution's successes in capacity building, agricultural statistics, inflation monitoring, and Liberia's growing stature on the international stage.
Moses made substantial investments in building the technical capacity of his workforce to meet the growing demands for reliable statistics and geoinformation. Through our capacity building initiatives, 24 staff members were sponsored or sent to pursue master's degree in critical fields such as GIS, economics, statistics, data science, and so forth. During my ascendancy as the Director General of Logistics, we completed the National Agriculture Census and we did the data analysis. And there were key results that emanated from the agriculture census that will be very much useful for policymakers, especially those intervening in the agricultural sector. We can simply say that we have the completed data for the agricultural census that have been compiled. The census identified 338,630 agricultural households in Liberia, in the entire country, with the highest concentrations in Myean, which is 21.4%, Bong 16.7%, and Lofa 12.7%. So it means that now Myean is the leading county in terms of household agricultural production, followed by Bong County, and Lofa is the third. So Myean now is the breadbasket of our country. With households collectively raising over 444,000 chickens in the entire country and 67,000 goats. It relies on traditional tools such as cutlasses used by 94.1% of households and hand hoes. 87.2% underscores the need for modernization and mechanization in the sector.
He is the Executive Director of the Liberia Institute of Statistics and Geoinformation Services. This is his Rachel Kaplan. They give an update on the year under review. Bong County District 2 representative has termed as laughable the Opposition Congress for Democratic Change decision to expel Deputy Speaker Thomas Fowler. James Cole believes that the CDC, as a former ruling party, will subsequent times regret their recent decision. According to him, the action will create more division among members of the party if care is not taken.
The further suspension or quote-unquote expulsion is laughable to me. You know, sometimes it is bad to make a decision and you start to regret it at a later time. You cannot tell me that the political party is represented by the chairman. See the release. The chairman is the next senator to that release. Where is the secretary general? It is not the prerogative of the chairman to sign release. It is the prerogative of the Secretary General. The Secretary General should sign a release and be approved by the chairman. But the chairman is signing his approving. Are you killing me? Is this the kind of leadership you want to provide for this nation? You're making fun. You have to go back and rethink.
He is Bon County District 2 Representative James Collette there, terming as laughable the opposition Congress for Democratic Change CDC decision to expel Deputy Speaker Thomas Fallan. A prominent citizen from Bokomo District, Bapulu County, has called on Inspector General Police Gregory Common to order an investigation into the alleged flogging of representative of Electoral District 2 in Bapulu County. Reverend Jala Maki said it does not offer well for the image of Liberia in the Committee of Nations for lawmakers to be flogged by a police officer. Recently, Representative Luther Collins sustained injuries as a result of alleged police assault when fistfight erupted between the majority and minority lawmakers at the Capitol building in Monrovia. Speaking in an interview in Monrovia shortly after he returned from a visit in Bapulu County, Maki said the people of the district are unhappy over the situation and questioning swift intervention by RG Como.
Attention, and I'm making a passionate appeal to the police chief, whom I respect very much because of his citizens' engagement, to make the police service a service to the people of this country, to return the love the citizens had for the police many years back before the war. And I think Governor Coleman is on that particular path to restoring respect for the police. So, as a citizen of Mawakola Town in Bokomo District, electoral district number 2, from where Representative Luther Collins comes, who enjoyed the overwhelming support through the ballot box of the people of that district, it calls my attention that he will be assaulted. And we have some interest in appealing to the Liberia National Police to launch an investigation so that we can really know what led to the alleged assault on the lawmaker that district voted for to represent their interest in lawmaking oversight, education at the House of Representatives. For him now to be hospitalized at the Hope for Women clinic, we think that he is deprived as a consequence of self-assault from doing business for the people of Gulwala, the people of Bokomo, the people of Baya elected him to do. He will have to now stay away from the debates, from lawmaking responsibilities, from repealing of laws, not be relevant anymore, to the contemporary challenges we have. And then we think that there's a need to find out what really happened.
Reverend Jala Maki is a prominent citizen from Bokomo District in Bapulu County. They are calling for an investigation into the alleged flogging of Electoral District 2 Representative Luther Collins. If you're just joining us, please be informed that you are in tune to the Friday, December 13, 2024 edition of News Desk for the 5 minutes of news from a News and Current Affairs Department here at the Renaissance Communications Incorporated. Now, top developments. President Joseph Boakai recommits to regional cooperation and sustainable management of marine resources, opening the 15th Ministerial Conference of the Fisheries Committee for the West Central Gulf of Guinea. To enhance maternal health services in Liberia, Swedish Embassy donates 13 land cruiser vehicles for the Ministry of Health. The acting board of the Liberia Telecommunication Authority amend portions of the 2019 price flood order, adjusting voice and data signs an order to stabilize the sector and improve quality service nationwide. Away from Liberia, Niger's military government suspends the BBC for 3 months, accusing it of spreading false news that could destabilize social peace. Let's bring you more developments on the program. As means of identifying with Christians during this festive season, the Abundant Grace School System, in partnership with the Jesus Christ Ministry, has donated assorted food and non-food items to less fortunate families in Painesville. The donations, which include food that's rice, cooking oil, washing soup, among others, is the institution's way of giving hope to less privileged mothers and children during this festive season. Speaking during the donations Friday in Painesville, the principal of the Abundant Grace School System, Telos Emmanuel Johnson, noted that the initiative is part of Edify Liberia's continuous effort in giving back to the society.
For different background, we need to teach them not just only the ABC, but we also need to teach them some more things and the sharing. So on this day, more especially in December, it's a time for sharing. So we try to identify with our less fortunate people in our in TSA. So there's a team in our school called the Teachers Ministry, because we are part of Edify Liberia. Edify Liberia teach us how to give and how to receive, because the more you give, the more you receive. So in that lab, with the Edify vision, mission, and whatever to do, we as school have decided this academic to continue to give to our people. And that's why it's not much on rice and some youth attend for them to use for this Christmas. So I believe that you can see the joy in our students as they give it. You can also see the joy in our department. So it's something that we think about, and we pray that this will not just be today, it will be a continual process. It's something that the institution used to do before, but because of the viruses that happen, coronavirus or Ebola, everything, stop everything. So this year, we sense the virus, we have started again this year again on the foot with our Jesus Ministry. And that means that we start getting donation. They also go out to preach God's word to their friends, to other schools. The ministry also intend to visit other schools and give donation to their friends. Because if you have all and you just sit around it and you not give out, you are not a servant of God. So you must be able to share. So that's the belief and thinking they have. Because they learned that for the Edify program, so they try to implement that through the giving stream.
Telos Emmanuel Johnson is the principal of the Abundant Grace School System located on the GSA Road, Painesville. For their part, beneficiaries lauded the institution for the gesture, therming it as a relief. According to one of the beneficiaries, Lopu Bobby, a mother of 6 children, she and her children had no hope for the festive season, terming the donations are timely.
Thank you. That God bless you and give you more grace and give more protection in Jesus' name. Monies and Lobu Puge. I'm happy. I'm very, very happy. I was not expecting it, but I tell God, thank you what God do for me. When you can go, just put your trust in Him. When you and then because you will get the same now, good thing in your life. But yesterday was one God is one of them. But this morning, God bless me. So I just want to tell God, thank you for your goodness and for my life. Just want to tell them thank you. They'll keep on helping me because I get saved every children. So I just want to tell you thank you that your thing and your style must save me, helping me, and we'll see tomorrow how it will be.
Madam Lopu Bobby is one of the beneficiaries with 6 children. They're loading the institution that's the Abundant Grace School System and in partnership with Jesus Christ Ministry. And later on, you heard the voice of the principal of the Abundant Grace School System, Telos Emmanuel Johnson. The Executive Director for Democracy Empowerment for Economic Progress, Dr. Ibrahim Sulu II, says the executive branch of government has undermined the rule of law. Speaking Friday to RCI News, Dr. Sulu said, Liberia is a country of law and every citizen should respect the law. Something he said, the executive branch is allegedly involved into the current saga at the House of Representatives.
I think the position of most especially the president, who is the chief executive, have underlined true intent of democracy, and Supreme Court have also institutionalized the practice of legal ambiguity. When Supreme Court comes down with a ruling that can be interpreted from different angles, it means the Supreme Court is contributing to chaotic scene in the state. The past ruling by the Supreme Court, an act of legal ambiguity, is intended to exploit the immense illiteracy we have in our society. Since you have over 52.4% of your country being illiterate, it means that the Supreme Court put an obtained discussion in the corridor of library limitations. So you see that people are arguing that this person wins the particular ruling, that ruling, the other person wins the identical ruling. It means that the Supreme Court needs to come back and set the record straight and do away with this legal ambiguity, and for the president to undermine the rule of law and subverting the integrity of that horse to a chaotic scene where he's supposed to side. We're all getting the right clarity from the Supreme Court on what it means, but the ruling, I think, is also equally unfortunate. To have a group of guys who will call themselves the so-called majority group congregating at a local hotel, it shows an immense level of illiteracy. We already have a crisis on a poorly educated society, and to see people who should be in that particular conduit of potentiality, setting this record straight when it comes to legality, will be practicing general justice, and the president will be supporting tyrannic actions to remove a legal case speaker of the House. I think Liberia is working in a terrible situation. When you see people are so greedy, they impede their ability to say what is right or do what is right.
Dr. Ibrahim Dasamasiru I is the Executive Director for Democracy Empowerment for Academic Progress. They're blaming the executive branch of government for the saga in the House of Representatives. At the same time, Dr. Selu has backed stepping from the United States Embassy calling for due process and respect for the rule of law at the House of Representatives.
Are trying to put some level of sense in our leadership to tell them that look, terrorism will be punished, barbaric practices will be punished, the rule of law will be praised. Adhered to by all parties. If you use a legal framework to put the speaker into office, use a legal framework in the corridor of legality to take the speaker out of office. But resulting to primitive, tyrannic behavior, the influence of money, people who get in at a given place, and the hijacking power, those elementary practices by poorly educated lawmakers and people who are not nationalistic, those going to try to say, stop those things and do what is right. And I will say this, the speaker should not resign. We cannot be in a primitive state in this particular dispensation. Those guys that have resorted to primitive action and feel that some of us will get weak and will not talk, but it will not happen. We can keep living that particular way. That barbaric approach, no justice, no work. We will engage the process. You are only giving a signal from the Myean government and saying you cannot practice barbarism, tyrannic practices. And President Joseph Boakai, you gotta be careful because you are trying to encourage your need to these unwholesome acts. And history will not judge you tomorrow, but history will start judging you today. If you do things the wrong way, when will this come to an end? So let the speaker goes down in history to stand against the act of barbarism, tyrannism, and let the president of Liberia. You know, I never have trust that Joseph Boakai has the ability to govern this country.
Dr. Ibrahim Dasamasiru I is the Executive Director for Democracy Empowerment for Economic Progress. There speaking, giving his opinion about the saga in the House of Representatives, taking us home on today's edition of the program News Desk. But as we take leave of you, a recap of the headlines. President Joseph Boakai recommits to regional cooperation and sustainable management of marine resources, opens the 15th Ministerial Conference of the Fisheries Committee for the West Central of Guinea or Gulf of Guinea to enhance maternal mortality health service in Liberia. Swedish Embassy donates 13 land cruiser vehicles to the Ministry of Health. The acting board of the Liberia Telecommunications Authority amend portions of the 2019 price floor other, adjusting voice and data signs and other to stabilize the sector and improve quality service nationwide. And away from Liberia, Niger's military government suspends the BBC for 3 months, accusing it of spreading false news that could destabilize social peace. We'd love to say many thanks to our writers, contributors, correspondents for making today's edition of the program sources. Thanks to our sponsors, Untitled Liberia and Ecobank Liberia Limited. Naketa Roberts was here with the news bulletin. We sincerely apologize we could not bring you the passion of live sports. Koba Sangasara, controller producer of sounds. Torgbean was behind the cameras. My name is Johnson Gbarntolmah. I presented. News Text is taking its usual weekend break to be back fresh on Monday. Join us if you can. Good night.
Ria TV, True FM.
Ria TV, True FM.
On Ria TV,
into True FM 96.1.
What's the meaning of the black barrier?
The black barrier is to tell Joseph Boakai, if you don't organize yourself in a respectful manner, we'll keep your data like
You might say what you want to say, but for us, we are here to make sure we build our country, that we are respected. We have donors that are coming because of the confidence.
Some news summary of 12. My name is Johnson Gbarntolmah Naketa.
Welcome to News and Analysis 30 minutes of news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and our one world.
Presenting this newscast is proudly sponsored by Orange Liberia and Ecobank Liberia Limited.
How is life after the presidency?
But before the presidency, the same life, that's what you see. I live a different life. You know, when I was not president, this life, that's what I live, you know, with my family and
I have a lot of interest in the health sector, the educational sector, and the agriculture sector. Those connecting those.
Yeah, we are calling international community to come to intervene for us because, like I just stated previously, we don't know who to trust.
Always make sure to turn on to our
Ria TV and listening to True FM 96.1.